The story of Juha and the donkey. From the rich tapestry of Arab folklore, there are many amusing and wise tales about the character Juha. One such tale is the story of Juha and his donkey. Juha owned a donkey that he relied upon for his travels and daily errands. One day, he decided to sell his donkey at the market because it had grown old and weary. Juha took the donkey to the market and offered it for sale, but the people knew the donkey was old and no one wanted to buy it. Juha thought of a clever trick to sell the donkey. He began to loudly proclaim, "Whoever buys this donkey will receive 40 free pieces of advice." A crowd gathered around him, curious about these pieces of advice. Juha started announcing his advice. The first piece of advice: do not buy a donkey if it has a mark on its back. The people looked at the donkey and saw that it had no marks. Juha continued, the second piece of advice: do not buy a donkey if its ears are unusually long. Once again, the people examined the donkey and found its ears to be of normal length. Juha announced the third piece of advice: do not buy a donkey if it limps. The crowd inspected the donkey and saw that it walked normally. Juha kept offering his 40 pieces of advice, and with each piece of advice, the people found that the donkey did not have the problem mentioned. By the end of the advice, the people were convinced that the donkey was in good condition, and one of them bought it for a good price. A few days later, the man who bought the donkey returned to Juha and said, "This donkey does nothing but sleep and eat." Juha laughed and replied, "You bought it based on my advice, like the shape of its ears and the marks on its back, not its daily behavior." This story reflects Juha's wit and cleverness in dealing with difficult situations in amusing and inventive ways. It remains one of the beloved stories in Arab folklore to this day.